To be day one. So I'm gonna continue to get on here and start giving back. Obviously, I've been more private, I guess, for the most part, and just doing stuff with my clients. But I figure this is that moment that I probably need to open it up to the world, I guess, for the most part. I guess that's me on my. Oh yeah, I can see my screens or whatever. That's cool though. Um, Open it up to the world or whatever, and just try to do my part. I guess as far as the service piece, I haven't done it. I keep saying I want to kind of give my time, volunteer to different things, but I always find myself being busy, and I don't ever get that opportunity. So I figure by me doing this is going to give me that opportunity to kind of give back and help whoever I can. Obviously, what I do, it's not going to be for everybody, but it can be used for everybody. So what I do is I'm a lifestyle coach, right? So I do lifestyle development pretty much is what I do. I help people to understand the life they live in now. So a lot of times we want this certain lifestyle, right? Like we want more. Everybody wants more in life. And it's kind of hard to get what you want when you don't truly understand what you want. And the reason why I say you don't understand what you want is because you don't understand where you're at now. A lot of times we're trying to start at the finish line opposed to starting at the start line. And when you do that, you never make it to the finish line. That was me my whole life. A lot of years. I just kind of, I'm not going to say wasted because that's kind of a loose word, I guess, for the most part. I wouldn't say I wasted it because I did learn things along that journey that's got me to where I'm at now. But it was a lot of years where I was just overwhelming myself and it just sucked. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, I had a lot of depressing moments. I was in a lot of depressing stages, I would say. I'm not gonna say I was like depressed, but I was depressed. I had a lot of anxiety. Just I didn't know what to do, and it sucked because a lot of times we in that situation, we in that position, and life just it just overwhelm us. Because we know we have the skills and the capability to be great, but we kind of take a back seat because we don't really understand the moment that we live in. We don't know what to focus on. I never really truly knew what to focus on. I was focusing on this, focusing on that, focusing on everything. And it just completely continued to put me in this circle. I always say, life is like the seasons, right? Like every season is it's gonna come back around. What's that saying? It might not repeat, but it rhyme or rhyme repeat, something like that or whatever. But what I'm trying to say pretty much is what you did last year at this point it's gonna come back and you're gonna do it again for the most part. You might have a different shirt on or your hair might be a little different, but life repeats itself. And when you're not really understanding what's going on in your life and you're not capturing the moments that are being created, then you just keep going on that merry-go-round, man. And I found myself because I really started looking at my life and what was going on at different times. I started writing, in my journal or whatever, and just going back and reflecting here and there. I didn't do it enough, obviously, because I kept repeating it. But when I really start seeing it, because it takes time, obviously, you're not gonna know what happened at this time until next year. I'm not gonna know what happened today if it's gonna be the same next year until next year happens for the most part. So it takes time, and that was the sucky part. It took time, and a lot of times we just kind of revert back to what we did before, and that's what I continue to do. So that's why it took me longer to actually get to the point that I needed to get to change my life. And I'm never promising like you finna become this millionaire, you finna make all this money. But what I can promise is you will start living your dream lifestyle. Because to me, living your dream lifestyle is being able to control your lifestyle. Because when you can control your lifestyle, that's when you take things to the next level. That's when you start to become more in life, right? That's when you start moving forward towards that finish line. Because what you must realize is it's never truly a finish line because it's always moving. Because as you grow, you become more. But you need to start somewhere, and that's in the moment that you live in. So that's what I'm gonna be pretty much talking about for the next weeks, months, years. Um, I'm going to actually show you how you can live your dream lifestyle and how simple it really is, because it's not this complicated formula like we think it is. It's pretty simple. I always say KISS is KISS. Keep it super simple. If you keep it super simple, you will simplify your lifestyle and you will be able to get everything you want in life. But you must realize it takes time. And if you are not willing to put the time in for you, then it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. You have to stop looking for that instant gratification, because that's what I was all about. Like, I want it now, instantaneously. Like, I don't want to wait. I'm very impatient. I'm a very impatient person. And it got me in trouble a lot of times in life because I was so impatient. And I had to learn to like slow down, because life is not going nowhere, man. No matter how fast you go, life is still going to move at the same speed. The only thing that's going to happen is you're not going to be able to see what you need to see in order to create what you need to create. So pretty much what I'm going to be showing you is how you create that dream lifestyle. So it all starts off with observation, right? So that's what I'm going to be talking about this week or whatever, for the most part. Just kind of observation in my 4 transformations, as far as the 4 transformations you need to develop in order to build that dream lifestyle. That's part 1, is observation. The second part is structure. Once you can start to kind of become aware of what's going on in your life and you kind of see different things, because a lot of times, yeah, we're aware of things, but we're not truly aware of it. Once you can start figuring that out, okay, what is the moment I live in now? Like, let's kind of observe everything that's happening on a daily basis. And then once you know the life you live right now, then you can start structuring it, because you don't want to structure your life based off something you think. I always say that is what's going to create that faulty foundation, because you want to build that solid foundation just like a house. Everybody knows if that foundation is horrible in your house, at some point it's going to crumble, or you have to tear down, right? Rebuild. So you just want to make sure that you build the right structure. And how you do that is you got to go to that observation phase to kind of see what's going on, because a lot of times we think we know it all. It's like, it's my life. Of course I know what's going on. But do you? Because majority of the times we do not. And once you go into that observation phase, you start learning a lot. Sometimes it take days, sometimes it take weeks, sometimes it can take months. It just all depends on a person and how you go about it. One thing I will tell you, if you start writing things down, it's going to speed up that process for you, because we forget more than we remember, because our minds are thinking so much all day, every day. We picking up new things all day, every day. as well as still retaining old habits as well. So that next part is going to be that structure. So now in structure, what we're going to start doing in that is now let's start understanding, your days, like what is going on, your channels, right? Like what is happening, morning, midday, night. Like you need to start figuring those things out because if you don't, then how do you plan on structure your day? How do you plan on creating the day that you want to create if you do not understand what's happening throughout your day? Because a lot of times we just kind of just take a section and make that out to be everything, right? Like you have this little window of 2 to 4 hours or something, right? And you base your whole day off that. Like yeah, I know what I do every single day. Like this is what I do, and you just get because a lot of my clients, right? They, I ask them, I say, okay, so you do you understand your day? Majority of the times they be like, yeah, I understand my day. Of course I do. I wake up, I eat, I go to work, I come home, I go to sleep. For the most part, and it's like that's not your day. You know, So that's where we start, is those channels, understanding our day, what's going on. Then that takes us into the moments, right? Like, what are the moments we are creating? Because it's new moments happening all the time in our life. So let's start creating meaningful moments, right? And how you do that is you become aware to understand, to control those moments that are happening. If you are not aware, truly aware, because a lot of times, like I said before, yeah, you aware, like say if you a smoker, like, yeah, I'm aware that I smoke, right? I'm aware. Do you want to quit? Yeah, I want to quit, but it's too hard, right? So that's where that aware kicks in. Because it's all about the little things. That's what I always say. I tell my clients, don't focus on the big picture in the beginning. Like, it's no need to focus on the big picture. Yes, that big picture is there, right? And that's what a lot of times what we're aware of is that big picture. Like, yeah, we're aware of that big picture. But it's all the little small things that create that big thing, right? It's not the big thing that create the small things. It's the little things that create the big things. So if you can start learning all the little things that's going on, right? Like that smoker, right? Like, yeah, I know I smoke. Let's start finding out. Okay. Because a lot of times people say, well, it calm my nerves. Okay. Well, how? When? Where? Like, what are the situations happening? That's the little things we want to start figuring out. Becoming that detective. And a lot of times we don't want to give ourselves that time because we like, oh, that's going to take forever. That's what you think in your head. But I'm telling you, it does not take as long as you think it do, as long as you have the proper plan and process in place to figure it out. Now, if you give yourself the time, you make it happen. So like I said, you want to start becoming aware of those little things. And then when you can do that, it allows you to understand, okay, this is why I did this. This is why I'm smoking at this time, or this is why I'm binge eating, whatever it might be. This is why I'm not getting a promotion at work. You start understanding it. And then once you can understand it, guess what? That's going to allow you to control it, right? Without understanding, you're never going to control. Yeah, you might control for a moment, but not for the long haul. Because the simple fact is, you don't understand it enough. It's like, well, why do I want to control it? You ever like went on a food plan and then like, you might get a week or not even a week. I'm gonna say you get a couple days, like 3, 4, 5 days in, right? And all of a sudden you'd be like, why am I doing this? I'm gonna be okay. I don't have to put myself through this in order to do it. Like why am I doing this? This don't even make sense, right? That's because you're only aware that big picture. I want to lose weight, right? But the little picture, you don't understand it enough to lose that weight, to control what's happening. Because yes, you don't have to starve yourself in order to lose the weight, right? I always tell people, or I always tell my clients, I guess, it's two different type of discipline. You have that force discipline, you know what I'm saying, and you have that flow discipline. So what I create for my clients is flow discipline, which allows them to stay consistent and get to their ultimate goal. So that's moments, right? I ain't gonna go too deep in all of them because obviously we're gonna get into all of these. I'm just touching the surface, touching the surface. And then the next one is gonna be phases that we're gonna jump into. So with phases, you want to build, to implement, to live, right? So, right, you was aware, to understand, to control. So now let's start building on that, right? I always say you want to stack things up, right? You want to stack things to create something meaningful, to create something great. And this is also how you create that consistency. Typically, if you got something stacked, right, it's not going to be as easy to revert all the way back to that bottom one, right? Because now you got these blocks that you didn't build something meaningful. If you ever had Legos, right? If you ever play with Legos, like I love Legos. I'm a big Lego nerd or whatever. I always say Beetlejuice. I want to eventually build the Beetlejuice house. The Beetle, if you ever watched Beetlejuice, I'm sure a lot. If you haven't watched it, go look. He has a whole town that he built. I want to build that with Legos. That's my ultimate goal. I've been collecting Lego for years, to eventually start building. But anyways, so you want to start building. Now, with Legos, if you start building, right, the more you start building, you can't just go take that Lego out. It's going to take time to break it down, right? You got to break those Legos down. You mess up on the color and you're like, that don't look right. You got to break it all down and make it nice and neat. It's the same thing with your life. And that's the great part about what I do and what I'm going to show you how to build your dream lifestyle is once you build it up the proper way, it's going to be very hard to tear it down. And that's what I mean by building that solid foundation. That structure needs to be solid. And that's what we're going to do. That way it's so hard to break that new lifestyle. That means that now you're going to live that dream lifestyle. It's not a short-term fix is what I'm creating. I don't create that for my clients. If I have a client to come and say, well, I'm trying to just do this for this or this for this, that's not what I do. I'm changing your lifestyle. I'm not changing your lifestyle for a wedding or for a sporting event or for whatever, right? Like what I do is not short-term. What I do is for your life forever, right? That's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to build your dream lifestyle for life, not for a moment. So you get into the phases. And then after the phases, you get into the habits. And now this is where we get into organize, right? So observe, right? You got to observe what's going on, right? You got to build that structure. And now you got to organize everything, right? This is what's going to allow you to maintenance your life and continue to make the changes that you need. Because remember, I talked about I overwhelmed myself with so many things, and it was just like, it was too much, right? It was just too much. This is going to allow you to be able to take some of that out, right? Because you know what's going on with your life, right? You observed it, you structured it out. Now you're going to organize it with 4 habits, 4, right? Do them every single day. From when you're born to you're no longer here, you do these habits. The beautiful thing about my 1 Moment Mindset program is you're not changing anything. You don't have to change anything that's happening in your life. You continue to live your life, right? Because in order to create your dream lifestyle, you have to start with the lifestyle you live in now. So those 4 habits, you do them: self, activity, nutrition, finance. Again, I get a lot of people to say, well, can you help me lose weight or can you help me with a budget, or just help me meditate or whatever it is, right? Because I've had a lot of jobs in my life, right? I travel. I played football over in Europe and stuff like that. Um, so I moved a lot, right? I've lived in a lot of different environments. I had to understand self. Like I didn't have a choice. Like when I say I lived in so many different environments, I lived in so many different environments. Um, so self was a big thing, even just growing up, being the only boy. Um, it was tough sometimes. I had cousins and stuff like that, but I was always kind of a loner. I just kind of explored and figured things out. Activity, I was a personal trainer. I did personal trainer for some years. I used to make custom workouts for people to do on their own, instructions, nutrition plans. I did that. I lived that life. I was a trainer. And then later on, and even into this moment, finance. I got an MBA in finance. I've worked in the financial industry, every part of it, from insurance, property casualty, retirement planning, crypto. I've been there, I've done that. Um, and I used to do everything individually at certain points in my life, but I figured if I can combine all that together, it can be so powerful. And that's why I don't sit there and just do one piece of your life, because life is more than that. That's that short term fix. And that's what we kind of look for a lot of times. When you just saying, oh, I just want to lose weight, and I'm going to be good, you're lying to yourself, because it's more to it than just losing that weight. It's other parts of your life that is broken as well. We have to stop thinking that we only have this one part that's broke. You need to understand your whole life, like every aspect of it, not just pieces and parts. Because when you do that, that's when you build that faulty foundation. That's when that structure is not going to be solid, because you're trying to take these little shortcuts. It's like if you fix a pipe, right? So you got this pipe and you got these holes in it, right? So you got like 4 holes, and you tape them up, right? You tape it up, and then all of a sudden it start leaking again, and you like, I'm just gonna tape it again, instead of putting a new pipe on. That's what you are continuing to do to your life. You're just continuing to tape that pipe up, opposed to just taking that freaking pipe off and putting a new one on. Because a lot of times we think, oh, it's gonna take so long, right? But you take more time continuing to try to put that band-aid on the pipe, because every so often it's coming back apart and you have to keep fixing it. Why would you want to keep having to fix your life every so often? Wouldn't you want to just build your dream lifestyle and just live it? Wouldn't that be way more meaningful? Because I know I was that person that I just kept start, stop, man. And you just get to the point where it's overwhelming. It's exhausting. It's freaking exhausting. Like, I know firsthand. Building your lifestyle the wrong way is exhausting. And I did it for years, building it the wrong way, because I was looking for that quick fix. And then it was a moment where I was just like, something's gotta give, right? And then for years, I've been creating this one moment mindset for years, just taking pieces here, pieces there, and just figuring it out. But the beauty of it is, I figured it out for you. I simplified how to build your dream lifestyle. So if you want to continue to learn how to build that dream lifestyle, then continue to tune in. I'm gonna have some videos that will be up later today about everything that I'm gonna be talking about from here on out. I'm gonna be giving you that true picture and not just sections of here and this and that. I'm gonna give it all to you. I'm gonna give it all to you at once so you can see it. And then I'm gonna get on and I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about how it's pertaining to me now, how it pertained to me in the past. I'm just gonna continue to give, because I feel like that is my purpose now in life, is to give. to everybody and not just to this small demographic that can afford what I have. I want to try to give it to everybody. So if you're willing to listen, then I'm going to give it to you. But I always say, if you are ready, then I don't want to stop you. Hit me up. And I can get an action plan for you. You can speed up the process. But if you are willing to just wait, I guess, then just keep listening to me. And I guarantee you, if you do exactly what I say, you will start building your dream lifestyle. I always say, together, we will create a plan and a process to elevate you to build your dream lifestyle. So, like I said, this is just day one. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to get on here. So that's pretty much what it's gonna be all about, is one moment mindset. Like I said, we're gonna get into that, observation, just kind of observing phase is the first step. That's the 4 transformations, which is focus. I guess I never even told you, like, well, what the hell is the 4 transformations? Focus, time management, discipline, confidence. That's what I'm all about. That is what I instill in all my clients. And when you can start to do those 4 in order, that's when it begins. That's when the magic happens. And it's that simple, people. I always say, let's go back to the basics, just like in school. Push-ups, sit-ups, right? Chin-ups. Like, let's go back to the basics. ABCs, 1, 2, 3. That's all I do. I'm not trying to complicate nothing, because that's not what I'm about. Like I said, I'm about KISS, right? Keep it super simple. And that's what I'll continue to do to give it to you. Simplify it. I'm not finna overwhelm you or nothing like that. I'm gonna speak layman terms all the time, because that's who I am. That's who I am, because I figure that's the easiest way. But anyways, I'm not gonna go too long today. I just wanted to hop on and yeah, and just say, and let I can't talk, and just let you know, you are going to start seeing my face a lot more, because I'm finna start giving back. And if you're willing to listen, I'm willing to give. So this is day one of many, many, many days. So anyways, I think I'm gonna leave on that note. And yeah, later today I'll be putting some stuff up on my channels or whatever, as far as the game plan, the whole action plan. I'm giving it all to you, like boom, no chaser. I'm not holding nothing back. I'm gonna give it all to you right now. So you have it. And then, like I said, you can tune in if you want to, get more knowledge, and just continue to grow. So anyways, I guess that means I'm out. Remember, this is my first time. I got to figure out how to stop it. I guess I'll just stop it all. Anyways, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day and look for those videos.